Hi everyone, I'm Vickie Kello, your Stamping Up Independent demonstrator for Brisbane, or in Brisbane. There's, I think, heaps of us demonstrators in Brisbane. I'm just one of them. Okay, I'm just checking myself on the iPad so I can get the comments. Hi Kerry. Did you have a good week? Hi Sue. Did we all have a good week? Hi Mum. Hi Denise. Oh, hi Donna. Everyone's jumping on tonight. Excellent. Alright, so just when you jump on, if you like and share my video as well, that would be great to get it out in front of more people. If you're watching this video in, oh nice Donna, I'd love to be on holidays. I've worked out I've still got 58 working days until I am made redundant. So, counting down the days. If you're watching my video on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to my channel and like my video and make any comments on there. Hi Carrie Ann. Yeah. So I got Adrian to do the random draw for last week's comments on here for the Facebook Live. So every comment that you make during the Facebook Live goes into a random generator thing. Adrian's got some little program that he does on the computer and puts the link of the video in, and so then all the comments go up there and then it generates. So Marie won the random prize, so I'll bring that to class tomorrow. Marie, congratulations. Hoping to get away next week. How long are you on holidays for, Donna? Love to be on holidays. So just thought I would 2 weeks on ice. Just trying to play with the settings on here. This is, we got a new sketch, woohoo! So I did get a lot more entries into my sketch challenge by having it up for a whole month instead of just a week. So I think that is working a lot better than just having it each week. But I was getting a little bit bored myself playing with the same sketch all the time. So I'm a little bit excited that we've got a new sketch tonight to go with. So that's the sketch. Hi Karen, you are on time tonight. You don't often get to see me live. So that's what we're doing tonight. I thought tonight I'd play with a set that I absolutely love and that I haven't played with quite enough yet. So this is the Sailing Home bundle, and so this is the dies and the stamp set, and then I've played with the whole suite with these cards, which includes those little trinkets, the twine, and the embossing folder tonight. So we're going to have a bit of fun with that one tonight. And these are, I'm making 3 cards tonight. Can you believe it? This one. Wanted to use a lot of this in designer series paper. This one. So that's used the embossing folder in the background too there. And then this one. You like, yes, these are very popular, Donna. And it's always hard to have A, enough mail cards, and B, enough product in a Stampin' Up catalog, or even anything to do with stamping really, that's male orientated. There's a lot of flowers, there's a lot of butterflies, there's not an awful lot of male orientated stamps. So that's what we're going to make tonight. I have die cut some of the stuff to try and make it a bit quicker, because I think 3 cards might be pushing the hour, but we'll see how we go. And then playing a bit with watercolour, which I don't often play with, so we'll do that to start with. And so I'll flip you guys around and we'll get crafting. So that's the set that we're using tonight. So we're going to start with this card. Now this has a couple of techniques on it, so we'll go over them as well, and I'll just get my little bag of goodies. Yeah. Now we need the watercolour paper, and we'll just move the rest of that out of the video shot. Okay, so I've had a few questions from some of my lovely ladies. Hi Tara, thanks Donna for liking and sharing, about how we get all these little pieces here. This watercolour wash background, so that's what we're going to do here. Now, since we've got these new ink pads, I myself struggle so much to push enough, thanks Karen, to get enough ink here. The older ink pads were much easier for that. So what I've found since moving to these new ink pads is, if you get your clear block, now any size clear block will work, but I like the D block, and you just sit it on your ink pad directly. And all you want is make sure you're picking up the ink. Thanks Tara. So just want to make sure you've got ink on there, and we're just going to stick that. I've just double layered this piece of scrap here so that I don't end up with a messy workstation. And you get your aqua painter. Now I have looked everywhere for my Stampin' Up one and I couldn't find it, but Stampin' Up do sell these. This one is not. Stampin' Up's are blue, but I cannot find my Stampin' Up one anywhere, so I might have left it at a class or something. But you just fill them with water. So if you twist here and you just fill this with water, you can fill it with alcohol and it will dry quicker, but the point of this exercise is to fill it with water, not alcohol. And then you just squeeze enough onto, let me make sure I'm right in the camera here, onto your block that you've got a bit of water, and you swirl the ink into it, and you just keep swirling it around, mixing all that ink in. Because I just want a light watercolour wash, I want all the ink mixed in. I don't want any darker bits, but if you want a different effect, you could get different bits. I haven't seen yours. I have mine only, I think. Yeah, I don't know what I've done with it, Mum. Because the Stampin' Up one comes in 2 packs. You get a thin brush and a thicker brush. So you just make sure you got to pick up water, and then this is the new watercolour paper, and you just go over. You can continue to squeeze water when you're putting it on the paper, and that will lighten it even further. because I'm using Balmy Blue, this is going to end up being quite light for this card. I'm not squeezing too much water once I get onto the paper here. And you can go over it. And obviously the more you go over it, the darker it gets. And then I have left white bits on there purposely. And then to clean your brush, you just keep going, squeeze a bit more water out until the brush tip goes clear, and then that's it. It's all done. Now you can use another colour if you want, or what. So I do have some wet wipes here to now clean my block. And because there is quite a bit of water on here, it may drip, which is why I double layered the paper. And your block is now clean and ready to use for rim stamping. And I'll get rid of that piece. Yes, it is a pretty colour, Denise. I quite like this Balmy Blue. And that's dark for watercolour wash with Balmy Blue. You could not stick so much ink on there and get a lighter wash if you didn't want it so dark. But I wanted it quite dark because the rest of the colours that I've used in the card are quite dark. So this Balmy Blue is looking quite light on here. Alright, so we'll need to let that dry just for a little bit. Because while it's wet, if we stamp on that, the ink will bleed a little bit. So we need to let that dry, so we'll continue working with some other stuff. So I've got my soft suede base, and then the piece of DSP. So I love these ropes design. On the back side it's this like newspaper looking thing. I like the ropes on there, and we've got that. And mixing up the sentiments a little bit. And I've already tied my embellishment with the twine so that you don't have to sit there and watch me do that, because that's a bit difficult and my nails are getting a bit long, so it's getting very tedious to do the other night. And then the banner at the top, I've got the same colour as the base of the card, and it's the same width of the card, and it's a inch wide on there, and I'll use the darker blue. So this is a die cut piece from the the ropes in the set. So if you haven't seen this set, it comes with loads of stamps, and then this is the dies that comes with. So this is a piece of the rope. That's where the sentiment is come from. The anchor, 2 sailboats. These are the compass pieces. Thanks, Sue. This is another sentiment. I haven't used this because it only really fits the thanks or congrats from the set, and I wanted to use these 2 sentiments. Hi, Kim. How you feeling? And then this is like a coral seaweedy piece, anchor, ship's wheel, and so that's the piece that I've used here for that. So the colours that I've used tonight are soft suede, night of navy, and balmy blue, and then tied a bit of the things. Hi, Chrissy. So while we're waiting for that other piece to dry, we're going to, what I've done here with this piece, I've just tried to give it a bit more interest. So I've put the twine there on top and bottom, and then in the middle piece I've done the rope. So we'll do that. Now I don't like using wet glue at all, so I'm going to use glue dots, but because this piece is quite thin, you do have to roll your glue dots a little bit. Make sure you're on the right paper. Oh. There's one. Hi Deb, how are you? Are you home or are you still out and about? And there's another glue dot. Now, because this picture is going over the top, I only see the need for 2 glue dots, but you can be a bit more heavy-handed with the glue dots or wet glue if you like. So stick that one on. Now we can just trim that just a little bit there so it lines up. Got home today. Oh, nice. And we'll put some tape on the back because we need some tape to hold the twine. And then some tape to hold it down in the middle. Now, this twine is really thick. Normally with things like this I try and like wrap it around a couple of times, but it was making the card too bulky. So I'm just going to tuck a little bit around each side because this twine is really quite thick compared to some of our other ones. But I've done a class with this already, I've made a heap of my cards, and I've still got 10 ton of this left, so there, you get a lot in the roll. Okay, so we'll take the tape off for the top and bottom so that we can stick the twine around. I feel like I'm all fingers doing this because it's quite a small fiddly piece. Hey Marnie, how are you? Okay, so I did have a good day today, Marnie. I took my son to get his 4-year-old needles today, and he was a big brave boy and didn't cry, and Mummy had to get her flu shot. So now Hunter and I both have dead arms. But it was good. He's a bit tired this afternoon though. Fell asleep on the couch watching Frozen. Good. So I only had to work half a day today, so it was brilliant. I wish every Friday was like that. I wish every day was like that, really. But not yet. Okay, so I'm just going to layer the piece of DSP onto the card base. Now I have all my layers as 1/8 of an inch. Even though I'm in Australia, I work in inches for crafting, which is very weird because I never learnt inches or anything at school. And then we'll layer this. Want it down about 1.5 to 2 inches. Okay, so then we're sticking that. So you enjoying the school holidays, Marnie? Okay, so is this piece, that piece is still a bit damp, so we'll do the piece with the embossed bits. Now I'm not sure you can see on this because when I took photos of it to put on my blog you can't see very well, so I'll try and bring it up here. These banners are embossed. I don't know whether you can see that, so I did that to try and oh nice, Hi Angie, thanks for sharing. To try and give it a little bit more dimension and texture, but you can't really see it in the picture, but you can see it in real life. So I've used the new High Seas embossing folder. So I thought I'd show you that because what's come out, and I'm not sure many of you have seen this, is that with all the changeover of Stampin' Up now designing their own embossing folders, these embossing folders are a little bit thinner than the old. So these are now called 3D embossing folders, like all the new embossing folders are 3D embossing folders. And the other folders that we had in the old catalogue were called dynamic texture. And if you look at the difference, these 3D ones are a bit thinner. So Stampin' Up has brought out this new embossing plate for your Big Shot or for your die cut machine. I'm thankful that it's blue so that you can tell the difference between that and your cutting plate, but it's a bit thicker than your cutting plate. So this is so new that it didn't make it in the catalogue. Okay, so, but if you're interested in this, place my order. Possibly, Karen. That's why we have the suites, so you only have one order number to put in or remember, and you get everything in the suite. So I thought I'd show you how this embossing plate works with it tonight. So we've got our Big Shot here, and my plates are well used, so you can see that. So on the dynamic plate, so like the layered leaves or any of the older embossing folders, the 3D, the dynamic textures, when we ran these through, we only have our Big Shot platform, we have our embossing folder with our cardstock in it, and you have one acrylic plate and roll it through. And that would roll through and give you a nice image. It is, isn't it, Angie? I love it. But now if you do that with this folder and push it through, because the folder is a bit thinner, it doesn't actually emboss. Like, there's no pressure there at all. I can just push that through and nothing will happen. So if you don't have this embossing plate, you'll need some shims. So either some other layers of cardstock or anything like that. So how this plate works is that because it's thicker than your normal acrylic plate, and can you see that? Then it takes away the need for having shims and having to work out depending on the thickness of your cardstock and things like that. So this plate is a must-have. So we'll show you then with these banners. Now I've got the banners in each of the colours. And while we're embossing this, we're going to emboss one of these vanilla pieces for the next card as well, because it all fits in one. Work smarter, not harder. Okay. And then we put this plate over, and when we put the embossing folders in, we always make sure that the closed edge goes in first. Okay. And then we just roll that through, and it takes the guesswork away of any need to work out how thick your shims have to be, and ta-da! Those are all embossed images now. I think the lighter colours show up better on the camera than the darker colours. so you can see that a bit better. All right. So I'm very thankful. When I first got this in the package, I thought it was maybe just the packaging that was like purple, and I'm like, how am I going to tell the difference between this and my normal plates? But all the plate is purpley blue, so you won't get confused. You'll know which one's which is good. Because I store mine like this. Okay, now we'll put that big shot away because it just takes up way too much room. So if anyone's interested in that, I'll find the code because it's so new it's not in the catalogue. Find the code for that to add to this post so that you know what the item number is. Right. So this is dry now. What we're needing now, we're going to do some masking. Not sure if anyone's done any masking before. And we get the night of navy. Now when you mask, you want to make sure that you use, I think I'm going to sneeze. Oh, bless me, sorry. You want to make sure that you use paper, not cardstock, because cardstock's too thick to mask and you'll get a border or too much of a gap. Oh, is it about? Yes, I got it, Laura. I got it. I've had it now for a week and a bit. Oh, look at you, Marnie. Very efficient. Thank you very much, Marnie. So we're going to do some masking because you can see here I've got the big boat and the little boat, and I've got the little boat sitting behind the big boat. So to do that, we stamp the big boat first. Yeah, Laura, I think I got it in my order that arrived last week. So I think I ordered it the second day it was available. So it's only been available for a week and a bit. Okay. Now, because I want the twine on here, I don't want it too low on the bottom because I want to have room here and not cover the image. So stamping towards the middle. That in there. Now to do true masking, you would probably, and there is a die cut for this, so you could truly die cut it out and cover it like that. That's a lot of work. I'll show you my cheats way of doing it. Get a post-it note, and because I just don't, and we're only masking these two images, so it's not like I'm having one over this side or anything else. So cover that over with the post-it note. Get the smaller image. And I'm finding with my smaller image I get a shadow of this. So I don't know whether it's my dodgy stamp or whether it's I just rock on this smaller image. So I'm just cleaning that up before I go on there. And then you just stamp over. And then you've got two boats and you haven't ruined the first image. So that was very nice and easy, and no need for die cutting. So you can do that to get a cleaner image and only mask that bit, but when you're only just doing two images like that, you just want to be as quick as possible. Okay, so that one's then done. Now we can get some twine. Now for this one, because I am putting this onto the page, thanks Kim, and putting it onto the card with dimensionals. I don't care about having the twine around the back, but I am going to stick towards some tape towards the bottom because we need to stick these banners on. So I've done, where's my scissors? These banners are at 3/4 of a inch, and then it doesn't really matter how long they are because you need to trim them down because otherwise they're too big for the card. And I've just done each edge with the triple banner punch already, but if you don't have that, you can just cut in the middle of the cardstock and banner it yourself. So we're just going to cut a little bit off there. I'm going to have the soft suede one the longest, so make that long over there. And make that there. Oh, thanks, Laura. They're actually getting a bit long. They need to be done, but they're a bright orange with glitter. I was struggling earlier today trying to... What did I do with it? Put the... Here. Try and thread the twine through that because I think my nails are too long. So I did it off camera so that nobody else had to witness that and watch me struggle. So I want the longer piece in the middle, and I want... So that needs to be the last piece that goes on because I want that behind these two smaller pieces. So I'm going to stick the two lighter, the blues on first, and just to the edge. I am trying to line these up so that they're a bit even, but I'm not being pedantic about it. Alright, now I will stick dimensionals on first, so then we can wrap the twine above the dimensionals. Alright, so I have a roll of twine here, and I like for it to go around 3 times. So start here, 1, 2, 3. Get my ribbon scissors. Right. Now, this is also painful to watch, so sorry. You're trying to tie a knot. Can you all hear my son coughing? We checked that at the doctor's today, and because he's had it for about 3 weeks, and there's nothing we can do about it. So we'll just tie that around. But you all need it so good right now. Yes, it certainly saves a lot of the hassle with working out what your shims, because everybody's embossing die cutting machine is calibrated differently, and I notice it when I do classes, because I used to do classes at Mum's and I had a spare big shot at Mum's, so even between my big shots, the one that I had at Mum's and the one that I had here, they're calibrated differently. So now that these are a bit thinner and you need 2 acrylic plates is too much, but then you've got to work out how much cardstock you need, whether fold it once or twice. It just makes it so much easier. Talking about the discounted price. Not everyone's demos on here, Laura. Some of them are. But they could all sign up as demonstrators because now's a good month to sign up. You get bonus dollars and extra money in your kit. Okay. So now we're just going to adhere this with the dimensionals. I might stick a glue dot underneath that anchor because it's just not sitting the way I want it to sit. So I'll fix it and won't let it move. There we go, fixed it, and I've lost my sentiment. Uh-oh. Well, we'll find it. We might put a sentiment on that later when I've made some more cards and cleaned up here, because no doubt it will show up somewhere. But that's our first card that we've made tonight. It could be part of somebody's joining kit, Laura. So I'm pretty happy that that actually looks like the sketch. And there is a sentiment that goes on there, but I've just misplaced that this minute. Oh, and I did finish the inside of the card on that one with some more masking, so we can do that as well. Maybe I lost it with the big shot when I put the big shot away. Oh well. Stamping the inside of the card for this one. Oh, is it raining there, Kerry? I can't hear the rain here. Alright, so just stamping this one. And then I'll get my mask out again, my trusty post-it note. Over this side. And just clean this off so I don't get that shadow. Oh, it's raining in Newcastle as well, Karen. Oh. It's been raining off and on here today, but I can't hear the rain at the moment. Although all I can hear is my son coughing, so even if it was raining, I'm not sure I'd be able to hear it. And I might just, do we have a stamp of the ship's wheel? No. Might just stamp the anchor piece here to cover that big smudgy bit there that I've just done, because I don't like it. There you go, see, you wouldn't even know it was there. And I'm not going to stick that on the inside of my card just yet because my Night of Navy is very juicy and I find it does take a little while to dry. So I'm just going to pop that over here in the inside and we'll adhere that later. Okay, so that's our first card done. So our next card, we'll do this one. And this, so I already embossed that previously when I embossed those other banners with you all, so that I don't have to get that out again. Embellishment opportunity, yes. There's always an embellishment opportunity, isn't there, Laura? So we need a dauber, and I've done it with Balmy Blue. Now, my blending techniques need a lot of work, but this is the way I do it. I'm just going to get that piece of cardstock again, paper, and I think if I had a blending tool it probably would help a little bit more rather than a dauber, but I'm trying not to get big dots like that, which is why I'm rubbing over the edge to start with. So I thought this, because when it was just embossed I couldn't really see the pattern on it, so I thought this way I'd be able to see more of the pattern, and it looks like waves and a sky, and so I did do a bit darker down the bottom for the waves and a bit lighter up the top for the sky. And obviously, if you're a bit more talented than I, you could maybe try with some other colours. I'm a bit too scared to add too many colours because it could end up in a big mess. So that's the skills of my blending. And then I did stick some birds in the sky because I was kind of, did it look like waves or did it just look like a mess? So I thought if I stuck some birds in the sky, people might get the idea that it's supposed to be the ocean and the sky. Now with these birds I always do a test stamp because I don't stick the stickers on the back of my things. If you do circular motions off the page with your dauber and continue it on the piece, daubing, does that make sense? That's what yes, it does make sense. I find a dauber is just painful. I always do a test stamp with these birds to make sure that we've got birds flying up the right way. Okay, clean that off. Close this ink pad because Night of Navy gets everywhere. Sponge is easier, yeah. Can get that away. Now, I have already cut the boat, stamped and cut the boat to stick on there. I am just sticking the boat on there like with glue dots because I'm layering this whole piece up, so I didn't want the card to get too bulky. Your piece you're working on looks lovely. Thanks, Marnie. I think we're always our own worst critics, and I find the cards that I don't like the most are the ones that get pinned the most on Pinterest or that everyone likes and comments on, and the cards that I really like don't seem to float everybody's boat. Okay, get that out of the way. Now, this one, that's that sentiment. I really don't know what happened to that other sentiment. That piece, Night of Navy card base, and boats paper. Hi, Annette. It's alright, I'm making 3 cards tonight, so you've just missed one. I'm halfway through the second one, so you're not that late. On the green is the other side, but I wanted the boats to match in with what we're doing here. So stick the tape on the back of Dimensionals Are Life. Yes. And I can't believe after making my swaps for on stage, I actually ran out of dimensionals. I've never run out of dimensionals in my life, but I did because I made so many swaps for on stage. That I'm slowly replenishing my stockpile from that. Okay, now with this one, I did wrap the twine around 3 times with this one, and we just stuck it on with a dimensional. So it does get a bit bulky though. This is quite thick twine. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Get my ribbon scissors. Thanks, Annette. So just trying to tie this into a knot, and I just am going to pass the thread or the twine underneath all of them because I kind of just want to keep them in one bit and not have them separate on me. And try and move this knot down a bit over here. Trim that off. And then I stick that down with dimensionals. Right, now get them all off. Have you got plans in Brisbane tomorrow, Marnie? I've got my card class on. So we can stick that down, and then we've got this piece, and again I've done the banners on this one, so I'm still using, because when I cut the banners with these, I cut both ends of the piece so that I could get 2 lots out of this. Work smarter, not harder. I think I'm going to start hashtagging that. I like it. And then we'll stick some tape on the bottom of this. I love the colour. Oh, thanks, Donna. I realised, because I've just donated another lot of cards to the retirement villages around here. So all up, I have done like 1,100 cards. I'm in Brisbane, Karen. So I have realised that in my stash now of the cards that I have kept, which are all current cards, that I don't have a lot of male cards. I've kept some older sets for kids because my son is 4 and we had a birthday party last weekend. I've got a birthday party next weekend for him, so I've got a whole heap of kids cards still there made with old stuff because I just use them like nothing, no tomorrow. There's so many of them. but a lot of the other cards, I try and only keep the current stock of them. And I had so many of them, but when I've gone through what's left, there's not many mail cards. So I thought I need to make some. And I've also got the Memories and More kit for this suite, which I haven't used either. So I want to get into that one weekend and make a whole heap of cards using the Memories and More, because they'll be quick, easy cards. So if you don't have a lot of time, I'll just try and find the Memories and More pack in my stash and show you what comes in that. Stick that down. Okay. Where do I stick the Memories and More stuff? Here are the Memories and More packs. Nasty cough. Yes, we went to the doctor's today. Annette, because he's only 4, so he had his 4-year-old immunisations, and he's had that cough for a couple of weeks, and he was on antibiotics, and it did nothing. And the doctors said again, there's nothing we can do. It's viral. But when it gets really bad, we do give him some of my husband's Ventolin. But they won't diagnose him until he's 5 or 8, depending on what doctor you go to, with asthma. See, I haven't even opened all of my Memories and More stuff. So these, you do need to diffuse some easier. Might look into something like that, because we've had the vaporizer on Kim, and it does help a little bit, but so these Memories and More packs come already done. They are, a lot of people use them for scrapbooking, but they make really easy cards as well. So these are 3x4 cards, and they're double-sided, and they match, they coordinate so well with this set, so makes it heaps easy. And you get 2 of each piece. I love that. You and Me by the Sea. Yeah, I might do that, Kim. Try it and see how it works. And then these are 6x4. And then look at these pieces. These are the laser cut pieces. They're so pretty. There's another piece there of wheels. And then ropes and an anchor. Lighthouse. So let's go somewhere and do something. See, just that on a card would be nice. And then you get stickers and stuff in here as well on another laser cut piece. So there's heaps, and I think there's $17.50 for a pack. But does it say how many? 1 kit, 1 set. Well, I don't know how many you get. I haven't used anything out of that, so that's a full set there. And you get loads of cards out of it. So that's my next challenge with this suite, is to use this. Because I also got these in the Magnolia range, and I've used a lot of the Magnolia ones, but I haven't used a lot of these. Now that's not going to go back in the box, how I've stuck that in there. Okay, back to the card, sorry. So then we stick the sentiment on with dimensionals. Because I want it sitting over this side, I don't want to stick a dimensional here, otherwise we're going to be a bit lopsided. So I'll stick a dimensional behind there and then just some glue dot on that side. You don't want it to be too heavy. Hi Chrissy. I haven't posted your stuff from last week yet, Chrissy. It'll be in the mail on Monday because I haven't been in the office this week. I'm posting it on Monday. How did that get on there? Okay, and then this is another piece that I die cut from the die, so in the soft suede, just the rope knot. I think that's super cute. And I liked the ship's wheel on that piece. And just stuck that with a glue dot, and then I'd stick that onto the card. With a glue dot. Cover up a bit of that white space there. There we go, that's our second card tonight. So that's that one. Still haven't found that sentiment for the first card, but we'll keep making the next card and hopefully it might show up. Oh, we need to do the inside of that card. What did I do on this one? Oh, we did the ropes. So we'll stamp the inside of this one. I think when I made these cards, I pretty much used every stamp set in this pack, which I'm pretty happy with, because my challenge to myself this year, or New Year's resolution, whatever you want to call them, was to make sure that every stamp set I bought got ink on it. Because there's been quite a few in the last few years that I buy and they don't see any ink, because they retire before I get round to it. Does anyone else have that problem? Buy stamp sets and then don't use them? I'm sure I can't be the only one. Alright, now on to our third card, and this is the most, absolutely Karen, yeah, this is the most stepped up card. No, use them all. Really, Kim? Really? I have used, the only one that I bought out of this catalogue, you're not, I'm getting ready for retirement. Oh, nice, Kerry. The only one out of this catalogue that I've bought that I haven't yet got ink on is that Over the Moon. I think everything else that I've bought out of this catalogue I've actually got ink on. So I'm pretty happy with that. And Over the Moon is sitting here ready for me to do something with. I just haven't decided. I'm feeling a bit lost here. Right, so this is the last card we're making tonight. Now, with this one, I didn't completely follow the sketch because I didn't want the banners. There was just too much going on. I tried having the banners up here and just the little bits of the banner, and my husband told me I was trying too hard, and I thought it looked messy, so I took them away. Like, So that was my idea when I first made the card. Have little banners like that. Me too, if it's pretty, I just look at it. Yes, I've decided I'm just a collector. And that's my best customer, Karen, so I'm quite happy with you being a collector. Stamps are pretty to collect. I really don't know what I've done with that sentiment for the other card. Because we're getting down to the nitty-gritty over here and there's not many pieces left. Love your work, H. So, I've already made the rope die cut piece. I will need to thread some. No, I think I've got one of these that are threaded. I'll have a look in my stash. One of those already threaded. I've cut the coral pieces and I have already made the compass. So this compass, I just used a brad in my stash because I don't know whether Stamping Up have any brads on sale at the moment, and they're all the old ones that I had of theirs didn't really fit this, so this is just an old brad that I had. And I don't know whether this is in the catalogue or not, but this, the 1.5 inch punch circle fits this perfect. So no need to fussy cut because there's no die for that. I was a bit I was a bit surprised that there wasn't a die cut for that, but then I went through my circle punches and there was that, and it fitted perfectly. So perhaps that's Stamping Up already knew that, and that's why they didn't create a die for it. Okay, so with this piece, we will stick the little pieces together. I love this paper. I think it's the light blue compasses on it, but I love it. And then the back is the mossy meadow. I'm not a fan of that. But this I really like. So we're going to need some tape on that. Thanks, Chrissy. And I think my husband has caught up on all my blog posts because I spent the other night and I wrote 4 of my blog posts because I didn't write one for last week until Thursday night, I think. So that just went up just before we went live of last week's video went live just before we started, and then this one I think he's already hit live on as well. And I've got my card class tomorrow for those of you that are in Brisbane attending that. And so there will be a blog post for that comes out tomorrow after the card class as well. And hopefully you all got my newsletter, which came out earlier in the week. And so I'm going to stick this on again with glue dots because I hate wet glue. But your choice of adhesive for this. It won't stay down. So stick that one down, and then I didn't want to use the banners on this one because I wanted to use the little coral bits, and I was debating whether to use my little octopus, which I've got left over from my swaps that I did. I did one extra, and I wanted to put him on here. There he is going in my place through. So I wanted to stick him on, but I thought, I don't know. Do you reckon we make this one with that or the lighthouse? He's a bit cute, but I didn't think he fitted with the compass. While I'm doing everything else, you tell me whether you want the octopus on or we'll stamp the lighthouse. Okay, and with this anchor, I did just stick him up hanging here. Lighthouse, yeah, that's what I thought too. Don't put the compass. Hang him up there, and I just stuck him with a glue dot. See, everyone likes the lighthouse. So, stick him there, and then I want these to cross over and glue. And so stick that one down, and then that one there, and then we'll just trim those bits off. Too much with the blondables. I'll just keep him here in my workstation and let him look at me, because that's my leftover swap. Where did I put that piece of paper? Okay, so we'll stamp the lighthouse. Now I think I need my bigger block, which I've got here for the lighthouse. And we'll get the Knight of Navy. Okay. At least I stamped him straight. In my other one, I stamped it a bit crooked. The coral covered it over, or the leaf stuff covered it over, so you can't tell so much, but I know. Alright, and then I wanted some blue birdies in this, but I wanted the light to blue. So we'll use the balmy blue. I'll just bring in my scratch paper again. Make sure we're stamping the birds up the right way. Nope. It's better. Can't have birds upside down. So then we'll just let that dry for a little bit, because my Knight of Navy is quite inky. While that's drying, what did I stamp on the inside of this? Oh, the anchor in the light blue. So we'll get the inside piece and we'll stamp that. This is my last card, Tara. So that's the inside piece, and we'll adhere that at the end. This piece, these pieces. Right, I think that's it. So I didn't use any twine on this one. So we'll have dimensionals on the back of this piece. I love this whole set, Deb. I'm a bit of a sea person. I like the sea textures. I had the high tide stamp, except that's gone missing. So I've lent it to somebody, obviously, and forgot about it. And I had the old set that they had, which had the fish in it and like hope your day goes swimmingly and things like that. I can't remember the name of that set, but I had that and I loved that, which is a bit funny because I don't usually go on boats because I get motion sickness, so I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I seem to be attracted to the nautical theme. Stick a dimensional on the compass and north, south, I think that's right. Yeah, make sure that's up the right way. I don't think I took any notice of that on the other card. And we'll just stick another dimensional under that because it's just hanging there in the air now. Don't want it to come off. And then again with this one, I'm just going to have dimensionals down the bottom and it can just sit there so that we don't get too bulky. And I'll need to cut some of these bits because I'm out of all my bits. And I had the blue one first. Stick that on with a glue dot. Stick a glue dot there, another one there, and then I'm just going to get some mini dimensionals to fix up that stuff down here. You can tell I'm concentrating because I can't talk and concentrate at the same time. So I've gone all quiet. We need some up here too because they're just flapping in the breeze. There we go. So now we need to just adhere these in the middle And I really don't know what happened. It was a soft suede sentiment. Already done, cut out everything, and I've not found it in my stick that the right way. In my little thing now, I've cleaned up a bit. So there's one card. Is that? It's already stuck. That's the one I did. So stick this one down. That one's the one. Stand. I bet I packed it up in these, do you think? Do you think when I packed them up I got the sentiment? Nope. Oh, found it. Fell on my chair. Now, I'm going to stick that there, so it's going to be, when you have something that's already on dimensionals on one side and then you layer it with dimensionals again, then on the other side, if you just layer dimensionals twice, it will make up the bulk, which is what I'm going to do in this side. So just stick two lots of dimensionals on top of each other. And hopefully that will fix that. Bit there. Did I not take the tape off that? No. Silly. I only took the tape off one side. Right. So there's our cards that we made tonight. So we'll have that one, and that one is what we made tonight with this set. So if anybody's interested in this set and don't already have it, let me know. The light and dark blue ones look like shadow. Yes. Oh, can we move them over a bit more? There we go, and we did a couple of techniques then tonight as well that some of you may not have seen before. So we did the masking technique and the watercolour wash, and then sponging the embossed background as well. Really like it. Thank you, ladies. So that's all that I've got tonight from crafting. But for those of you that I'm going to see tomorrow at my class, thank you very much. And if you would like, thanks Karen. If you would like to get my newsletter and you haven't got my newsletter, you haven't signed up for my newsletter, just go to vicscraftycreations.com and you can sign up for it there. It did go out this week, so those of you that have subscribed, please make sure that you go in and read it. There's a lot of new details in there about the class and then some specials that are going on this month. Thanks, Donna. I'll get your gift in the post on Monday, Donna, because I'm going into the office on Monday. And for those of you that have liked and shared the video, thank you very much. You go into the drawer next week for a little gift. So this week Marie won that, so I'll give that to Marie at class tomorrow. What are we making tomorrow? Tomorrow we are working with the dinosaur bundle, so Dino Days bundle, and that's super cute. And Kevin. We're also working with the Above the Clouds bundle, which is the hot air balloon suite as well. So we're making 6 cards tomorrow with those suites and bundles. So thank you very much for joining in, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.